Plaintiff Lisa Heller says when she started dating the defendant, she had no idea she was heavily into meth and had a history of domestic violence. Lisa claims the defendant assaulted her in a jealous rage after another woman spoke to Lisa. So she's suing her ex-girlfriend for medical bills, car damages, and pain and suffering. Defendant Danae Darrow admits she was addicted to meth, but insists that was 5 years ago, and now she's clean and sober. Danae says Lisa was the most jealous and controlling person she's ever dated, man or woman. And she claims Lisa is the one who assaulted her, yet Danae was arrested. She's countersuing for bail money.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
I had met the defendant in November. I met her at a bar. We started dating shortly after. At the time, I did not know that she was heavily into meth and had a history of domestic violence. I know.
How'd you find that out?
Dilating pupils, just acting really violent, just strange.
Let me ask her to respond because that's a pretty harsh allegation. You dope fiend?
No, Your Honor.
Huh?
No, sir.
Oh.
I did have a meth problem. That was about 5 years ago.
Okay. All right. How did you kick it?
I went through McAllister. I have a 6-year-old, a reason to stay clean and sober.
Okay, good. Go ahead, ma'am.
March 20th, 2009, we had decided, me and the defendant, to go to a bar. We went to a local bar, and the defendant's witness was the driver. Had a couple drinks. Danae was acting really sloppy, and I was kind of wondering what was going on. I looked at her, and her pupils were big. So I asked her, what was wrong with you? She started cursing at me, and so I kind of went to go get another drink. When I went to go get another drink, I came back to the table that we were sitting at, and a mutual friend of mine and hers walked in and said hi to both of us. When she had walked in and said hi to both of us, Danae got jealous. She physically cursed at me, and she pointed her fingers at me and at my chest. I was highly embarrassed, didn't want anything to happen, so I walked outside. When I had walked outside, she and her witness followed behind me. I got into the van, and when I got into the van, she started pointing her fingers at me, pulling my hair, punching me, pushing me into the seat.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
I was like, look, you need to stop. I don't know what's going on. You need to stop.
So why is the driver here with her as a witness? If he was in the van and...
Because he was at the bar with us.
Wasn't he in the van when you all got in?
Yeah, he was in the van when we all got in.
He saw the fight.
He turned his head like this and was just holding his head like this. Just couldn't believe that was happening.
Sound right.
Your Honor, I
Don't nobody turn their head like that. Either they want to see a good fight, or they're gonna try and break it up, man. Don't nobody see a person fighting like that. No. They say, or they try and break it up. Let me hear from you.
Me and Lisa actually started dating back in October of 2008. We dated for about a month. Right off the bat, she was jealous, controlling, psycho. After a month of dealing with the jealousy, I broke up with her, and immediately she started dating one of my friends, and she was calling me the whole time that I was the one she wanted to be with. Well, in the beginning of 2008, I decided, we'll give it another chance. She swore to me she had changed, that she didn't have the jealousy issues, but it was worse. I mean, she's the most jealous person I've dated, man or woman.
So you've never had a violent encounter, ma'am?
My ex and I had lots of issues. I have 11 domestic violence charges against him. I got one against me, and that was it. I never got violent with him first. I've never been violent with anybody first.
So the one time, what was that?
That was after all the charges. I walked in on him using drugs in the living room. And he poured a gallon of water on me, and I just started, swinging.
So
I had it. Yeah, I take full accountability for that time.
So you were violent in that instance?
That one time,
I sure was. He poured water on you, and that's the only time you've had a violent incident that you initiated?
Yes, sir.
In your entire life?
Yes, sir. I'm not a violent person.
Go ahead.
So on March 20th, we went into the bar. A very beautiful girl walked in. I, was staring a little bit. Lisa got very jealous and screamed, "How long are you going to look at her?" And I looked at Uncle Mike. I'm like, we need to leave, And Uncle Mike looked over at Lisa and said, "Are you going to get a ride from your friend? Because we're leaving." She said, "Yeah." So me and Uncle Mike left, got in the van, and then here comes Lisa running into the back of the van, pulled me by the back of my hair,
Your Honor.
and I turned around and I said, "Are you serious? Are you really going to do this right now?" And that's when she pulled me by the top of my hair and punched me in my face. And she had a hold of my hair, pulling it down to the ground. I had a cigarette in my hand and I threw it out and I just started swinging to get her off me. Well, she finally let go, jumped out of the van and left. We went home, called my friend Rosemary. I said, "Hey, can you meet me at my house? I'm scared. Lisa's car's in my driveway." I don't know. I did call her too. I needed one of my friends, to come over with me. I was a little terrified. Here comes Lisa. She got dropped off to pick up her car, and my neighbors in the front came out. And she got on the phone with the cops, and I was like, "Okay, this is it. I'm going inside." The next day at work, she had me arrested at work for assault.
What do you want to tell me? As of the time you all were in the club,
That was a lie. It was the opposite. She was jealous of me because of my mutual friend. We started walking outside. We got into the van. As soon as we got into the van, I didn't say a word. She kept cursing at me and screaming at me. She had leaned over and turned and punched me, pushed me. She broke my nose. I have a laceration right here. Here's all my medical records stating that.
where do you say this comes from? How was her nose broken and all that?
Because she punched me.
Your Honor, I had my hair completely pulled.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I heard your part.
I have no idea.
You have no idea how her nose was broken.
I was not.
All right, you've just hurt your case now. I mean, it'd be different if you said, perhaps when I was swinging back to defend myself, but for you to stand over there and say, "I have no idea. I did absolutely nothing. Didn't even swing when I was defending myself. I have no idea how her nose was broken. Don't know how it happened. Maybe she bumped into the seat." Let me hear from you, sir. You're the witness. You were in the van. Come on up. State your name.
Mike G. Myatt.
What do you want to tell me?
We get in the van. We both get in the van, sitting there, start the engine. All of a sudden, Lisa comes up, opens up the side door, the passenger side door, gets in the van, sits down. Next thing, they're cat fighting. She grabs Lisa grabs Danae's hair. She's sitting in the front seat. She's like pulling it from the back like this. Just pulling her hair. Danae's sitting here saying, "You better let go before I punch you. Okay, she would not let go.
So what were you doing?
I was sitting there like, "What do you want me to do?
Break it?
I'm not gonna get into a cat fight.
Break it up.
I would break it up. It's a girl
break
fight.
it up.
It's a girl fight. Come on. I mean, Judge, I've been witnessing this the whole time for months, okay? They're little spats back and forth, okay?
So you see it
I'm just
frequently.
sitting there, okay? They're drunk. Or they're drinking.
Go ahead. She said you hid your face like that.
No, well, she pulled her.
He was amazed, like, I can't
I didn't
believe
hit
this is
my
happening.
face. I was looking right at her. I asked her to put the cigarette out before she slugged her. Okay? She would not let go. Danae reaches back, comes back, bam, hits her. Boom. I'd never seen no blood. She jumps out. I says, "We're leaving." Okay, she's got a ride home. We're driving home. She calls her friend Roxanne, tells her, "Roxanne, I need you. Can you come over to my house?"
Come on up.
Okay.
Where was she when she called you?
She called me when she got to the house. She was actually in Uncle Buck's car, and she told me that Uncle Buck was leaving for me to be by her side or whatever. And she told me that she was on top of her car and that she did break her nose. She keyed her car. She told me everything.
She said, "Let me call and tell you."
She said I hit her in the nose, and she was trying to pull my hair. And she told me.
And she wanted you to be with her. Why?
Because the police were coming to get her or something. And that she
You're a
was
lawyer?
No, I'm a paralegal, but I'm not a lawyer.
Okay. That's why you wanted it. The police were coming and you needed
I'm not trying to go
the
there.
closest thing to a lawyer you could get.
This was my friend of 19
No,
years.
what I'm, ma'am, in all
I've
honesty.
been her friend for 19 years.
Ma'am,
and
in
she's
all
not my
honesty,
friend no
it
more.
doesn't sound reasonable that a person would just call you to brag about what they've done to someone else and then say, "Come and comfort me."
I promise you she did.
All right, let me get back to her and let her continue telling me what happened.
When my witnesses had drove me to my car at her house, she was standing on my hood with a beer bottle in her hand, hitting my window. I had got out of the car. When I had got out of the car to go to my car, then that's when Danae had attacked me again. When she had attacked me, she had 4 other people with her. She kicked me, she hit me, she punched me, she pulled my hair. The police were already called on their way down. I didn't want to be involved in any of this. The only best thing that I could do is get away. I ran down to 7-Eleven, that's a block and a half. That's when all the vandalism was happening to my car. Here's the vandalism right here. Here's pictures. Here's everything about the vandalism, what she did to my car. After she had vandalized my car and ran, the police had picked me up from 7-Eleven. So we go back to the house. Danae's nowhere to be found. My car is completely vandalized.
What happened with the charges?
They're being taken place right now. On my police report, it says it's a felony for vandalism and domestic.
Okay, so you were prosecuted?
I've already appeared in court. All charges have been dropped. DA and Lisa, nobody's pressing charges.
Is that true?
That's what I have proof.
The DA had talked to me and said that they're not going to go further with this case.
Why?
And they left it at that.
Did they say why they weren't going to go further?
They didn't say why.
Okay, usually that means because they don't believe it's worthy of prosecution.
I'm assuming yes. That's probably why.
If it wasn't worthy for prosecution to them, then why should I take your word and believe that she has victimized you? The prosecutor said you're not worthy of justice, and you let it go. Yet you come to me for justice on the same issue. So unless you can give me something else to convince me, I'm going to rely on what the witness says here, the independent witness, and what the prosecutor's actions
I just have the police report on this. I talked to the
what
DA.
does the police report say in terms of her?
She did get arrested on the day of the incident.
No, what does it say witnesses said about her?
Just that they basically saw everything that happened.
Let's see what they say about the incident in the van. Because what you're telling me about what happened at the house.
This was not in the van.
Number one, you saw 4 people at her house?
I went towards the house to get my key or to get
and
my
you
car.
saw them?
And they came after me along behind her.
All right, and who would drop you off?
Kate, my witnesses, Kate and her girlfriend
had sped
Kelsey.
off?
No, they stayed there.
So why didn't you go and get back in the car?
Because I was just getting my car to leave.
No, if you saw 4 women coming at you, why wouldn't you go back into the car that is dropping you off and say, put the pedal to the metal, they're coming for us?
Because they wouldn't.
Pardon?
I understand that. But,
Right.
I mean,
I'm glad you do understand it. Not proving your case, ma'am. Her story sounds a little more reliable, except for the fact that she tried to play dumb about how your nose was broken. His story sounds most reliable. Your counterclaim for $2,000 is for what?
For my bail money, for being arrested at work. I owe my mom $2,000.
They came to your job and
arrested me at my job.
Well, I'm not sure that they didn't have probable cause to arrest you. There was a fight. They don't know who did it. They see her when she comes to the police station, or when the police see her, she's bloodied, her nose is broken. So without having gotten your story, then yeah, they listen to her and then they come and pick you up. That's how that goes. And just like they dropped the charges because they don't know who to believe and they don't really know what happened, that's what I'm doing. Case dismissed, and so is yours. Have a good day.
Thank you.